Bernard Charbonnet has, of course, been on the program before. He's the former chairman of the New Orleans Port Authority. Mr. Charbonnet, thank you. I know you were watching intently yesterday at the White House as the president and the BP chair came out and said $20 billion up front in an escrow account. Is that a good start?
That's a great start. It was the necessary and right thing to do, and the president's intervention was right on point, right on target. This assures Wall Street of a sense of how to go ahead in terms of investing in BP. It assures the victims, most importantly, that they have a pot to go to, a pot of gold at the time when they make their claims, and it'll be there, and it's assured to be there. That's the most important thing. The victims
old song, that old song, Short People Got Nobody? What did you make of the comment by the Dutch guy who said that we're the little, what do you call it, the small people down there? The
little people.
The small people. I hate to tell you, it was small people, he said. What did you make of that?
Chris, that means that everyone who lives along the coast, from the Texas border of Louisiana all the way to Florida, are small people. This is the most insulting and insensitive company, but I don't know why everybody's so surprised. This is the same company whose CEO said 4 weeks ago that he wanted his life back. These guys are insensitive. There was 11 deaths, and there are 7,500 oil rig workers who are not working right now, not to mention the fishermen and everyone else who's associated with the Gulf. I mean, the problem here is that this company is insulting and insensitive.
You know, I'm trying to figure out how this is going to work and who gets into the line first. You could be a roughneck, and they're getting $100 million if you work on the rigs. You know, you're one of these guys who work in the oil industry. You're getting a special fund set up apparently yesterday. They've got a good shot at getting it, thanks to, I think, Ken Salazar has been worried about that at Interior. But then what about the person who runs the small store, the small snack bar along the Gulf Coast there, the Redneck Riviera so-called? What happens to that person? How do you put in a bid? How do you say, look, I usually sell, I usually do $500 in business a day on my hot dog stand. Today I did $50 because nobody's coming here anymore because of this oil spill. How do you figure out who gets that money?
Well, he's got to quantify it. Now, let's be clear. The guy who's head of this fund has a deep-rooted experience in this. He handled the 9/11 fund. He handled the compensation commission for the bankers. You know, I've heard him speak one-on-one. He's very knowledgeable, and he knows how to do this. That's number one. Number two, they're going to set up a claims form, and everyone submits a claim. And if you're a person who owned the little store, then you show last year, this time I made X. This year I'm making zero. So you substantiate. You got to quantify your claim, but the money's in the pot, Chris. That's the most important thing. The money is in the pot.
So first in, first dibs, right?
That's it. That's it. But, you know, lawyers are going to have a say. Us lawyers are going to have a say on how this is distributed. But there's going to be a lot of judges who are going to have a say. But I do have to say this, Chris. BP is so insensitive. That's the very reason why they want this case heard in Houston. That's why they've had motions in Houston, Transocean and BP, to have this case heard in Houston.
Why is that home cooking for them?
Oh, that is home cooking. That's why it's got to be heard.
I'm asking you. It's an open question. Why is it? You're suggesting it is. Why, sir? Why is Houston a better venue for them than somewhere along the Gulf itself?
Well, because, number one, look where all the federal judges were appointed. This is pure and deep bush country. This is also their headquarters and the headquarters of oil for the world.
So you think that's going to be preferential to the oil guys who are paying the money?
Unquestionably. Listen to Congressman Barton today. He's from Texas.
Well, I did get the drift. Thank you. Thank you very much, Bernard Charbonnet. It's great to have you on. Coming up, much more. You do have a broadcast voice, sir, by the way.